All right, since the market's been soaring so much in 2023 so far, we've had a great year-to-date performance on all the indexes except for maybe the Dow. But in general, most people's portfolios should be very, very green unless they're shorting the market. This is causing a lot of people to say, hey, is it a great time to sell right now? How about I sell now and I jump back in later? Or maybe I sell the stocks I'm holding now and I jump into other stocks. We're going to talk about all of that and one stock that I'm considering selling. Haven't sold a share yet, but we'll see. But first, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Austin. I'm a co-owner of CloudMusicSuite.com. I'm a stock market investor. And this channel's sitting somewhere around 650 subscribers right now. If you're one of those people, thank you so much for being here again. If you're not one of those people, click that subscribe button. And as a thank you for doing that, here's a picture of both my cats, Millie and Luna. Millie's the gray one, Luna's the brown one. They appreciate you subscribing. All right, let's get into this. So, market's up huge year to date. And for those of us who were buying at the end of 2021 and then all the way through 2022, we've seen a lot of pain in the market. So to finally see some consistent green for 6+ months, it's really nice, and it gets us thinking maybe it's time to take a profit. It's been so long since I've taken a profit. I just want to sell some stocks, see some green in my accounts, and book those profits. But what you've got to understand is that if you're just selling to try to flip it into a new stock, you've got to have a very much better spot to put your money. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger say, whenever people ask them, what's the best stock to buy? They say, one that you already own. There's not a million winners in the market. Not every stock is the next Tesla stock. Not every stock is going to give you a gain. So your reasons to sell should be really, really, really strong. Like if a company's management team got flipped on its head and you see the fundamentals decreasing and worsening month in, month out, quarter in, quarter out, yep, it's time to sell. But if you're just selling because you feel like a stock has run a bunch and maybe it'll drop back down and I can get it at a better price and then I can ride the wave again, that's a loser's game. You don't know where the stock market's going. I don't know where the stock market's going. Don't act like you can predict it, because as they say, time in the market beats timing the market. So the problem with selling out of a bunch of positions now is that you've got to have better spots to put that money. If you really feel like you have better spots to put the money of the stocks that you're thinking about selling, that's valid. Go ahead and sell those stocks. But until you have a very clear spot where you're going to put that money, I don't think it's worth selling at all. And let's not forget, unless you're holding these within an IRA, you're going to create a taxable event if you have a gain on those shares. Creating as few taxable events as possible in your stock market accounts is going to be beneficial for your growth over time. You have to pay a fat amount of tax on those, especially if you have a short-term gain. Long-term gains are a little more reasonable, but the short-term gains are like at your regular income tax. So if you make good money, you're going to be paying tons and tons of money when it comes tax time on that sale of security. Just because your stocks have run a bunch in 2023 doesn't necessarily mean it's time for a pullback so that you can wait and buy the dip. There's not always a dip. Sometimes, oftentimes actually, stocks run up and then they kind of stabilize for a little bit. And then they run up some more and then they stabilize for a little bit. That's what happens with these beastly growth companies. It's not that they have massive run-ups, huge fall. Massive run-ups, huge fall. It's not normal for us to see a 2022 situation where so many stocks were down 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%. So many stocks were down that much. If we keep on getting good news as it relates to the CPI and the PPI, and if the Fed stops raising rates, we're definitely going to see some great green in the market. And if this next earnings season proves to be as good as I think it's going to be, stocks are going to continue to roar higher because as earnings go up, stock prices go up over time. Stocks always follow earnings over the long term. So as you're thinking about selling stocks, don't forget that time in the market always beats timing the market. And that almost 100% of people who day trade lose money. I'm not saying you're out there day trading, but if you are trading, that's a loser's game. Jumping out of a stock when you have a gain, taking that tax hit, and then trying to jump in at a lower price, how do you know that that stock's going to drop? You don't know that that stock's going to drop. That's a guess. It's better to hold the quality stocks that you have, let them ride for the next few years, see how the story plays out, see what you were correct about, see what you were incorrect about, so that you can learn how to pick better stocks in the future, and what you can learn from that, you can pull that forward to your next investment decision. If you're jumping in and out, you're not able to see these stories play out. You're not able to see your full thesis come to life, or you're not able to disprove parts of your thesis. So just make sure you have a really, really strong reason to sell if you are going to sell, and you have a very clear spot for where you're going to put that money. To keep tons of cash on the sideline right now, not great. Some cash, sure. Tons of cash, no, not great. One stock I'm thinking about selling right now is Lockheed Martin stock. I've held shares for over 2 years. It's a defense contractor. They make helicopters, fighter jets, missiles, etc. Defense contractor for the US government. They've done very well over the whole Russia-Ukraine situation, and the stock has been very nice to me. I've gotten over a 50% gain on my shares and some really nice dividend money. I haven't sold a share yet. I'm still figuring out if I even want to sell shares, and I do actually hold these shares inside of an IRA account, so it would not create a taxable event for me. If I do end up selling Lockheed Martin shares, the two places I'm going to put my money primarily from that position is into Amazon stock and into PayPal stock. I'm also considering just trimming the position just a little bit and not completely exiting the Lockheed Martin position, because like I said, it has been great to me and I do believe in the company over the long term. But if I do sell shares, I'm going to put that money into Amazon stock and PayPal stock because I see a lot of big potential there with those few stocks. Let me know if you're selling stocks right now. Let me know if you're holding stocks right now or if you're still buying stocks right now. What are you? Are you a holder, buyer, or seller, or are you shorting the market? I want to hear about it. I want to hear your thesis. Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you being here and have a great day.